tell you what, the Premier League is back with a bang this weekend. Some cracking matches. We'll focus on first versus third at Anfield. Liverpool taking on Leicester City. Don's still with us. Don, the big talking point going into this is how many players Jurgen Klopp will not have at his disposal. Salah, of course, testing positive for COVID. And we saw Jordan Henderson come off in that defeat against Belgium.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like he's just going to pick 11 James Milners. He's the only one that's sort of reliable. It's incredible. I mean, Leicester have got a big injury list as well, so we mustn't feel too sorry for Liverpool. But when you do look at the players and the areas that they're and Jurgen Klopp's missing, it's all across his back four. And there's players at the top end of the pitch when Salah's missing because of COVID, like Jota can come in and Mane, Firmino. They've got Origi, they've got Minamino. So there's enough talent at the top end of the pitch. It's just a question: what does Jurgen Klopp do now when he tries to pick a side defensively? When they're playing Leicester, who are banging form and score goals against anyone, and the quickest striker in the league, Jamie Vardy, is going to be playing. So does he play Jordan Henderson if he's fit because of his experience and play him at centre half and James Milner at right back? Does he go with
what would you do, Don?
Rhys Williams or Nat Phillips? There's loads of questions to be asked.
What would you do, Don?
I would go Jordan Henderson just
really?
because I've played central midfield all my life, Dan, and I've also played centre half, and it's easier when you play central midfield to go back one and you can play as a centre half and you can see the whole picture in front of you. You know, whether you talk Mascherano or Javi Martinez or Fernandinho, there's been loads of players that have played central midfield and played centre half, and it's a lot easier. But you very rarely see centre halves who then step into midfield because it's so hard. So I would go with, if everyone's fit in terms of what we think who's going to be fit, I'd go with James Milner at right back because he's adaptable. He can play anywhere across the back four. Inside one, I'd go Jordan Henderson because of their relationship and their communication between one another. And then Matip and Andy Robertson, if those two are fit as well, that would be the likely of the back four. I mean, he might go Rhys Williams, who hasn't played the Premier League game, but he's got a turn of pace. He played well against Atalanta. Or he can go Nat Phillips, who's very, very good in the air, but not necessarily quick. So I think if it was me picking an 11, I think Jordan Henderson would be in that centre-half position.
What a statement it'd be from Leicester if they get the win, Don.
It would be, and it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't shock me if they got a win. I mean, I know, the stats and everything goes against them, where Liverpool haven't lost a game in like 3.5 years at Anfield, so that would seem like a shock. But when you take everything into consideration and how many players Liverpool are missing in their back four, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Leicester beat Man City 5-2, so it shows they've got goals in their locker and they can beat anyone. They can also lose against anyone as well. But they seem a team that's really, in good form and in a good period, and they've got momentum as well. So this is a real tricky one. I wouldn't have thought, if you asked Jurgen Klopp, would he take a point before the game? But it feels like if you offered Liverpool fans a 1-1 draw and get out of there and then move on to the next week where they've got Fabinho and Tiago back, they might just take that.
Completely different subject now, Don. It's a story that has attracted attention from all around the world. Movie star Ryan Reynolds has bought Wrexham Football Club. I doubt a lot of people know much about Wrexham. Don, tell us about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small-time club trying to battle its way back into the divisions, and I was lucky enough to make my debut for Scotland B there. Andy Roxburgh picked me in a game, Wales v Scotland, and it was at Wrexham. Old-fashioned ground, really tight, really small, great fans. I mean, I played at Hartlepool, which is a similar sort of standard to Wrexham, and they really get behind their team, and they're a fantastic club, but a very, very small club. So it seems really bizarre. It seems an unlikely fit, an unlikely marriage. But listen, while it gives Wrexham fans a little bit of hope of getting back into the Football League, it can only be good, and it seems really positive.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.